Ladies and gentlemen, please forgive the technical delay on my end. I was having a login issue with Zoom. I do appreciate your patience. We are live and direct. This is Kevin T. Robertson, CEO of SpeakerFocus.com. Welcome to the Monday Q&A, where we cover any and all topics relating to growing your speaker business on the SpeakerFocus.com platform. You know the deal. Use the raise hand feature if you have a question. Let's just jump into it and tackle the questions that are on your mind about taking your speaker business to another level. Now, so let me go in here first and see who has their hand raised. Use the raise hand feature if you want your question answered. If you are not comfortable with sharing or you do not want to ask a question, you know what the deal is. Submit your question to support@speakerfocus.com. A lot of movement happening in the world of high fee speaking. A lot of money in the system. A lot of questions that need to be answered about your next move of what you should be doing to build a profitable speaker business. And also, you want to make sure that you're doing all the right things and making all the right moves in order to get your speaker business to a whole nother level. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Let me check, make sure I got anybody in the queue, make sure I'm not missing anybody. And we are going to tackle the tough questions that we do every single week on the SpeakerFocus.com platform. Let me see. We're going to wait for the room to fill up a little bit more because I logged in a little bit late, but we're going to get there. All right, let me see. I got one person in here. Let me see. See who's in the chat. Okay, Jonathan said no problem. Jonathan said, glad to know the Q&A is about to jump off. Always here to support your speaker goals, Jonathan. Let me just check and make sure we got everybody else covered. Okay, let me say again, for those who are on right now, before the room fills up, if you have a question, by all means, use the raise hand feature. We're going to jump right into it. If not, I'm going to do a final call for questions. If anybody doesn't have any questions, you're more than welcome to submit your question to support@speakerfocus.com. Okay, we got Wayne. A lot of talk. Wayne, how are you today, boss?
Hello,
Wayne.
Coach. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I had two phones on. I had my iPad and my phone. I might have to shut that out. I might have to shut that iPad off because it's going to echo.
You cancel one of them or just mute it. I don't hear the echo now, so you're good to go. What's your question?
All right. I sent you a note about how I if you remember, I really struggled for quite a while with the just getting started. I felt like I was just in a spot where I wasn't moving at all. And I got to be honest with you, Coach. I tried all kinds of stuff. And I really feel like I was out of pocket. I was not in the proper niche, and I wasn't comfortable. My authenticity was like not surfacing. Was not there. I wasn't authentic, and so I was trying to, that was in my approach to the corporate market, and I just felt like I was over my head. I really feel like that was over my head. I would have been trying to be something that I wasn't, and I now attribute the lack of movement on my part to that kind, being in that place where I felt like I really didn't belong there. But when I look at there's a couple things going on with the faith-based market and the the human services market. I mean, in the communities, like if you remember, and I know you're not real huge on those because because of their budgets and so on. But I mean, I feel like at least if I can get moving there and create some movement, then if there's avenues for me to grow and reach across into other sectors, then maybe that might be a way, how I can do it. But um, uh, I feel like I wasn't moving. And so when I look, so that's my first part. Okay.
All right, well, wait a
Second,
minute, wait a minute. Let's tackle the first part first, then we'll deal with the second layer of the question. So Wayne, let me just say this to you. All I'm doing, and I'm gonna make this real easy for you to understand. You don't have to feel guilty about getting my approval within no matter what market you want to go in. I have my opinions, and they are very strong because of my experience that I've been through as a speaker. All I'm doing is giving you a baseline to follow. You have to
right,
take your own path and you have to do what's right for you. And if that means that you don't want to go in the corporate and association market, and listen, everybody's not going to be a $50,000 keynote speaker like me. Everybody's not looking to do that. It's okay for you to not want to take the same path as any other speaker. And at the end of the day, you have to do what you feel. And if you
right,
feel like you're going to be more of service in the faith-based market, if you feel like you want to go speak in prisons, these are all things that you're going to have to follow the path and you're going to have to make your own mistakes. Even if I give you the highest level of mentorship, you still have to get out there and see what's going to work for you and what's not. I'm
right,
here that when you do get out there, and for some reason, when you do fall, that we're still here to give you advice on what you should do if you're not making any revenue. But I understand if you got a real passion, and this is a struggle that a lot of speakers deal with, man. That they it's almost like, I'm not saying they feel guilty about making money, but their service to the Lord or their service to their community is so overwhelming that they find it difficult to choose when it comes to earning revenue or going out there. It's not like I'm not telling you that it's a struggle to gain traction sometimes when you're dealing with the faith-based market on the lower end of it, or when you're dealing with a local municipality or a city government. The budget is not as big, but they do have a budget. So what I would do if I were you, and then we can move to the next question, I would just start doing outreach in those markets. No matter how you look at it, Wayne, I don't care. I don't give a damn if you're doing outreach to the youth market, speaking to kids, faith-based market, speaking to churches, government contracting market, college or university market, or the corporate and association market. You still have to start doing outreach. And you
right.
still have to put yourself out there into the market so you can start talking to coordinators to book speaking engagements. If you hadn't done that yet, you have to get over that fear. So I'm not here to judge you. You can go into any market that you want. You still have to start gaining traction. What's your next question?
Okay. Well, I wanted to also tell you that, remember a while back, I mentioned to you that the nonprofit that I work with had put out was looking for a grant from the Department of Corrections. Well, we got that, and so we're going to be launching a project in the. I wrote a leadership. I wrote to my company and I showed them some of the leadership concepts that we have. They loved it, and that's one of the things that we're going to be putting forth in this new thing. And here's the thing.
Well, congratulations on that.
Oh yeah, yeah. And here's the thing: what is happening here in New Jersey, it's happening all across the country. See, and so there's that's as far as the human service and the social service sectors and leadership. There's a change that's needed in that area. So that's one thing. Okay. And secondly, that when I think about the faith market, there are major conferences going on all around the country and around the world major speakers are like on these platforms. So that's one of the things. I don't really look at the only those, the typical thing for smaller churches and things. I'm like a conference speaker, and that's more or less where I'm going. So with that part. So my other question though was, do I need to rewrite my what do you call it? My
signature program.
my signature programs? Yes. Do I need to rewrite them, or I mean the headline, the headlines, leadership concepts that erase limits, ownership-based leadership, all those things they're still good, but are there some things that you think I need to revisit?
Well, when it comes to making adjustments per market, I can tell you this: if you don't specialize in one market and you don't understand who your market or your client base is, then you don't really have one at all. Remember, generalists don't really have a lot of success, but specialists do. So your signature remember, it doesn't matter what market you're in, leadership is the most requested topic. They want to bring you in as leadership and empowerment speaker first, period. I don't care if you're speaking to a church. Now watch this. This is real easy to understand, Wayne. If you're speaking to your local municipality under the 501c3, then you could go in and talk about leadership. I doubt if you're working a government contract and you go in or religious, you're probably gonna lose some people. Okay, you can get away with that obviously with the religious or spiritual message in the faith-based market, no matter what conference that you speak at. And obviously, if you're speaking in with prisons, you're going to just adjust the leadership message mildly just for the audience. You should be doing that anyway, and that's a big reason why you use the pre-programmed questionnaire, because it will break down your audience and what you should be delivering when you go in. But remember, Wayne, so you don't have to get confused, if you go in and speak about the things you're comfortable with leadership, you'll be fine. Your signature programs are well written and they're very strong. You should be standing on what you believe in and showing. When you show the meeting plan of the value, they will show you the money. It's just
just for your information, Coach. Thank you. Just for the information. Just last week I had to speak at a certain faith thing, and I took an old teaching and I turned it into a ownership-based leadership format, and it soared. Because I talk about each individual's personal leadership, and it's unlimited. I mean, it's powerful.
Okay,
so
did you record it?
It works.
Okay, Wayne, did you record it?
They recorded it, yes, and I can get it. I haven't gotten it, but it was recorded.
Yeah, let me say, get a video or get some clips of it, turn it into a YouTube link, and send it to me so I can check it out.
I will definitely do that. All right.
So,
no, I was just wondering mostly if I need to rewrite some of these things. I need to.
Don't rewrite it. You already been there, done that. You have a strong leadership message. Leave it alone. Just customize it per group that you're speaking to. And then, Wayne, the key is, brother, you need to get out there into the market and start talking to coordinators, man.
Right. Like I said, before, Coach, like I said, I felt like I was like I was out of pocket, man. So, and I just didn't. I felt like if I started something where I was and I couldn't maintain it, that was going to be a problem. So that's one I realize now why I wasn't pushing forward, because I just felt like that.
Well, that's very normal. That's very normal, Wayne. That's why you have to get stronger in your convictions about who you are, what your brand is. This is a whole nother reason why you need to get out there into the marketplace, because you're going to have to make adjustments about another 1,000 times before you can really find your footing to understand who you are and what your core messaging is. You haven't been in front of enough people. You haven't put your brand in front of enough coordinators. You haven't been told no enough. You haven't been beat up enough. Once you go through that process, you can't be afraid to fail and make mistakes. That's how you learn to be a better speaker. You look at me right now and the command that I have over the words and the verbiage. It took me a long time to become America's leading focus expert. It took me a long time to understand that I used to be the motivational supercharger of the 21st century. I no longer use that brand. Now I'm just America's leading focus expert.
All right. Well,
And I'm in the top 20% of leadership speakers, but I had to find out that the corporate market was my market. Watch this, Wayne. I had to serve every other market, fall on my face, go and do engagements and look bad so I could figure out the best market for my services. And they gave me the best opportunity to teach and facilitate and transfer knowledge. For me, that was the corporate and association market. After I tried all the other markets, did I feel like I was out of pocket sometimes speaking in the youth market as I got into my 30s? Yes, I did. Did I feel out of pocket sometimes when I had to go speak in the church because I didn't have a spiritual message? Yes, I did. Even though my first book back in 1998 had like a spiritual concept because I was still trying to find myself as a speaker. My God, Wayne, you're going to have to keep reinventing yourself. You're not the only one that feels like this. So I'm saying it to you because you shouldn't feel bad. Just keep going forward no matter what. I don't care how horrible you feel. You have a responsibility to yourself to get out there and start talking to coordinators, and you haven't been slapped in the face and told no enough for you to be getting scared about whether or not I should do this or do that. Man, just try what you feel and keep coming back to the platform and sharing it with us and keep getting better. You're not going to be the same speaker 6 months or a year from now. I just want you to be profitable, Wayne, no matter what you're doing. I got a responsibility to make you some money, and that's what we're here to do. Coach, I don't care how many times you make mistakes. I'm not judging you off of that, but I am going to be pushing you if you're not finishing. Get out there and start just talking to people, brother. And it sounds like that's what you're doing right now. So I'm excited for you. All right. Hey, listen, I appreciate you. I thank you for everything you said, and I'm on it. And most of all, Coach, I appreciate your authenticity. I appreciate you being there. Thank you. Hey, man. Yeah, hey, you're very welcome, Wayne. Always can count on that, man. Give my best to Carol, all right? I sure will. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. Talk to you real soon. Okay. Anybody else with a question, by all means. I see some names in the chat that I haven't seen in a while. Can't scroll through the whole list right now. Remember, we are here to help you grow your speaker business and your speaker brand. Identity is very important when you are building your messaging. This is the reason why I get it out the way really early up front with you so that you don't fight with yourself. Because Wayne is not the only person struggling with that. I went through that many times in my career. I simply did not understand. I didn't understand at the time where I fit in and what market was going to best serve me, and I was going to best serve them. And then on top of that, you try to figure out, how am I going to make money? This is how you do it. Whatever is in your gut and in your spirit and in your heart, you've got to stand on that. You've got to believe in yourself. Once you get your messaging approved from us, then you're going to say, okay, my message is going to be a good fit for whatever it is with your niche that matches your background, whatever matches your story. There is somebody out there that would love to hear your messaging. It's typically going to come from, and not that these are the only ones, but these are the primary ones where you earn money. There are a lot of sub niches and niches and a lot of like specialty markets that you can get involved in. Remember, generalists, when you're all over the place and you don't have typically one market, you are going to suffer even more. But when you have a specialty and you know that that's what your specialty is, like my specialty is executive leadership and management. That's my specialty. So I understand what executive leadership and what managers are going through, and I'm a corporate and association speaker. So they're going to have me come in to talk about leadership at the conference. They're going to have me come in to do a half day or full day program. That's the kind of speaker that I am. I understand that. You've got to understand what kind of speaker you are. I teach organizations how to organize their focus. I take the level of success they have and I make it bigger. I deal with organizational infrastructure, business management issues. I deal with communication challenges. I deal with time management issues. when they're stressed out, when the machine isn't running the way it's supposed to be running, they bring me in. You know why? Because I'm certified and qualified to teach over 100 soft skill topics in the area of management. Now, I busted my ass to earn that position, to tell you that I'm capable of being able to deal with corporations on that level. Go in and break them down like boot camp, tell them what's wrong. You're paying me to making an investment in the services that I provide to increase productivity, efficiency, and everything else all the way across the board, which is ultimately going to impact your bottom line. Now, I can remember when I wasn't a sales speaker or a sales trainer. I can remember delivering a sales training really early on in my career, but I didn't know the first thing about managing the sales cycle. But I did the sales training. It felt totally uncomfortable, and as soon as I did it, and I got horrible reviews, and I got my ass handed to me, I did not market myself as a sales trainer anymore. And you got to watch what you're marketing yourself as, because if you are not really, really good at that thing, the market is going to tell you immediately. You don't have to worry about Kevin T. Robertson helping you pick a market or pick a topic. I am giving you a baseline. I am telling you that this is the way that the business works. I'm telling you that you can have success in these 6 target markets: youth market, speaking to kids; faith-based market, speaking to churches; government contracted market; college and university market; and the corporate and association market. I've gotten paid the bottom of each market, and I got paid at the top of each market. I'm telling you that if you don't know what you're doing, and the only way sometimes you're going to find out what you're doing is you got to start doing outreach. And if you haven't started doing outreach, that means that your brand has not been tested by that particular market. That's all I'm saying to you. I'm not discouraging you from doing anything. My job is to give you the real, so you understand, you have some type, so you're not blind walking through the dark. But many of you are going to have to learn the hard way, just like I did, even when you got a baseline, and you're going to understand it. And when your messaging is horrible, you're gonna get a punch in your gut, and don't worry, you'll make the adjustment when you're not making any money. And then if you're not earning money, if money is a big thing to you, and then your revenue is not going to allow you to pay bills, and then you feel like you're wasting your time a lot, then you're going to understand how to make adjustments on the fly. It's not like I didn't tell you. I'm enlightening you about all these markets. I'm telling you that if you want to thrive in the faith-based market, and I'm waiting for another hand to go up, by the way, because some of you maybe somebody needs to hear this message, dealing with the pain that Wayne was going through, with the frustration. And this can be confusing sometimes, because it was confusing for me. But I'm going to tell you like this. When you are in the youth market speaking to kids, and this is my personal experience, and when you're standing out in the sun, and the sun is beating you in the head in July, and then they walk over to you with a check from the community center for $50, but you just spoke for an hour, you're going to ask yourself, what the hell am I out here doing? What am I doing wrong? Did I not just speak my tongue out of my head? Did I not have the right kind of messaging? But then you go and you speak at a conference like you do YMCA of Erie, Pennsylvania. They booked me for 3 speaking engagements. It was almost $10,000. That's because they have a budget. You see the difference? When you go speak at a community center in the hood that doesn't have a budget, or you get closer to Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in the inner city, they simply don't have the budget. So if you want to do philanthropic work and go speak for free, that's fine. I'm not judging you. Understand that there is a bottom and a top of every market. I've been there, done that. Let me get to the faith-based market. Now, I got a couple of my speaker buddies that they charge anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 to speak, but they speak at the bigger conferences. They speak at the faith-based leadership. Everybody has a leadership conference. Why do you think I'm telling you that leadership is the most requested topic? Now, you also going to speak at a lot of churches, and prior to the pandemic, 55% of African-American churches were in economic crisis. That means that they can barely keep the lights on or pay the rent, or they're in foreclosure and they're in a bad financial state. That means that when you go in and you think you're doing God's work, okay, you don't want to hear my kind of truth. You didn't think you're doing God's work, and then they walk over to you and they take up a collection, and it's $56 and some change in the basket, and you barely gonna have enough for some Chick-fil-A and some gas money on the way home. Don't say I didn't tell you. But then there's another side of that. If you go speak at the Manpower Conference with Potter's House and TD Jakes, oh, they got a budget to pay you for $5,000. But if you don't have the right credentials, as we are teaching you how to put together, then you can forget about getting on their radar in any other mega church. Because the mega churches, they do leadership conferences all the way across the board. They would love to hire you to speak. But how are you going to get your name in that market? You better learn how to start connecting with the coordinators. And how are you going to do that unless you start directly doing outreach to those coordinators at these mega churches? Because they have, all the way across the board, they have the person in charge of hiring the speakers at their singles ministry conference, youth ministry conference, their couples retreat conference, any kind of club in association or organization you can name. There is a bottom and there is a top. And I've gotten paid at the bottom and the top of all of these markets. Let me go ahead and move on to the government contracting market. For those of you who have a military background, again, you want to deal with a local, city, federal, municipality, they're going to pay you after services are rendered. This is a market where they don't give a damn about your level of skill. They're not interested in how good you are. It's not a market where you are celebrated. You're only tolerated, because if you don't do it for the amount of money that they want to pay you, which is typically around $1,000 to $3,000 a day or per event. The most I've ever gotten paid at the top of the government contracting market was $6,000 for the directors conference for HUD for a client I had many years ago. I probably did like 30, 35 speaking engagements for them. But the see, 90 days net. But I did it because I had so much business coming in. Between what I was doing and what you're not doing right now. And you long look at yourself in category. And if you're not doing it, I ain't no mercy. I was doing out the coordinators. I was cold calling my eyeballs out of my head, trying to find the person who was going to pay me what I thought I was worth. And I simply it was a difficult thing for me because of other markets. I wanted the bigger money. I wanted the celebrity brand like I have right now, but I wasn't ready for it back then. Understand, I had to walk the walk, talk over and over. A lot of you don't want to fail. You're scared to fail. You're scared of making mistakes, and you're holding on too tight. You need to drop that shit and get real with yourself. Until you start picking up the phone and talking to coordinators and getting told no a lot, don't say nothing to me. You're afraid for them to tell you no. You got to find your way. Let me go on to the college and university market. Let me see. One of the smaller colleges, let's say one of the smaller colleges, let's say Coppin State University. Let's do another college at Prince George Community College. Okay, they're only going to have maybe $1,250. Maybe if you're stretching it, you may push it. That's the bottom of the market. Start getting school there. I remember when I won $5,000 or $6,000 and those not going to be able to pay you that in the college and university market. Unless you're a celebrity brand, unless you're a Snooki from Jersey Shore, unless you're one of these real housewives of Atlanta, somebody like that. Because now it's not just about you teaching them anything. These markets from entertainment, what I do love about the college is that they typically have your check as soon as you get on campus. I like that. I don't really like that. I like the fact that when I was doing the colleges and, it's easy to reach the data. And old school methods was just phone calling people direct. And I was just going through it to like, that's to get my off the ground. Now, it's going to be the where I was getting checks $4,000. Top end was 3,500 to 4,000, but I was pushing it. Anytime I was asking 4,000 plus expense. You want to hear from the horse's mouth? Want to hear? Maybe you're not ready for my kind of truth, but you. Where I felt like I could spread my wings, kind of like when you take a bourbon and it opens the chest. It makes you feel a certain kind of way. I felt warm, but never. Dollars. It wasn't even a keynote. It took me 4 day worth of training. Now I had gone through working for 3 because I was learning the game. I didn't mind taking less because I was getting the repetitions in. And I knew I couldn't start at the top. But then I started to spread my wings, and then the corporate market started paying me. The first time somebody paid me $5,000 for a full day, I thought it was all the money in the world. I said, man, I have arrived. But they paid me $5,000. They paid me $5,000 for a full day. And it got me away from earning dollars for a full day. It got me away from the government contracting market paying me what I wasn't worth. It got me away from them telling me I had to get paid after services are rendered. Finally, corporate market, 50% non-refundable deposit up front. Now they're sending me my $2,500 up front. The people actually wanted to impact their bottom line. I wasn't a Mother Teresa. I wasn't a speaker who was going to excel at being in the youth market. But I'm telling you right now, I had to go through all of that in order to find my way to get to the dollars that I wanted to make. You've got to start making some real goals for yourself. You've got to start understanding the speaker that you want to be. Is that the speaker that I am right now is not the one I was 36 years ago. It is not the one I was 10 years ago. I had to go through the repetitions, get my ass handed to me back in sections. I had to go through some horrible evaluation forms, and I had to fail, and keep failing. A lot of you are getting in your own way because you don't even want to get out there and talk to coordinators, and you don't want to put your brand out there. You want to know if your brand is going to work. I don't give a damn how great my mentorship is to you. You are not going to understand how your brand is going to work until you put your brand and put your signature programs in front of people who need your help. And when you realize that you're not helping them, you're going to see it show up immediately on your evaluation form. Now, you don't need to get scared. Oh, you're going to be concerned, but don't be afraid because you're going to have to go through the fire just like I did. And every time I would call my wife and tell her something was wrong with me on the road and I had a bad evaluation form, she said, you need to get your ass back out there and get better. And that's what I did. And that's what you're going to have to do as well. Anybody else that has any additional questions, by all means, use the raise hand feature or we will be wrapping up this group call. You're going to have to get pissed at yourself and you're going to have to do some self-talk. If you want it, then show yourself that you want it. But you ain't got to impress us. We're just here to give you a baseline and provide support. I am not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to tell you what to speak about. You're going to have to find your way just like I did. But what you're going to realize, if you heard anything from the story that I have, and Roger Posada just saw your hand go up, brother, I'll be right with you. If you learned anything about me telling you about every single bump I had to go through, and believe me, I got 2,700 paid speaking engagements, so I didn't hit it all. In the first 750, I was horribly paid. I was mistreated. I allowed them to treat me like that because I didn't know any damn better. I want better for you. Roger, talk to me, brother. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. I love these calls, even though I don't participate unless I got something. I love these calls. I wanted you to know the value it brings just to hear you shooting out this wisdom. But I am disappointed that my website is not done yet. But I was beating up on the people that are doing it because I wanted it done right. And I was hoping to have it ready and got to get to you in time for today. But it's not ready. It's not done. Hopefully it'll be done this week and I'll be out there because I can't wait to get out there and apply the knowledge that you've put into me. I thank you.
Oh,
I really appreciate you. And I can't wait to get out there and get it done. As soon as I get it done, I'm sending a support ticket for you to check it out and
yeah.
let me know what I need to do with it.
I love it. I love it. Hey, Roger, listen, I always appreciate your enthusiasm and your New York Big Apple no fear attitude. It sparked something in me when you said that, Roger, about you're obviously you're working with a web designer and you're trying to get them to finish up your project. A lot of production people are overrun because we're in a virtual world right now. They're trying to facilitate all kinds of people that need requests for video and websites and things of this nature. So it does take a little bit of patience. And typically, how I talk to all my production people is I say, "Hey, listen, when do you think is going to be a good time for a turnaround? When you can fit my project in around the other work that you're doing without stressing you." That's typically what I ask them. I just had to do the same thing with my guys out in LA that's wrapping up my speaker video demo right now. And you know what? They had to push back my project because they're working on a major movie part. The guys working on my stuff right now, they do stuff for Sony Pictures and Warner Brothers and all that kind of stuff. But I want the best working on mine, so I guess what? I gotta wait in line like everybody else, and it takes patience. Now, another thing too, Roger, that you said something to me about, hey man, I want to get out there. I can't wait to start connecting with coordinators. Let me tell you something. What I love about you that I realize that you're going to need when you're dealing with coordinators. What you need is confidence to deal with rejection. And Roger, you're so good at what you do. Um, Give me a quick second. Roger, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Okay. Sorry about that. So one thing, remember, you have to take that New York Big Apple confidence with you in talking to the coordinator. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because you can't afford to lose that because you are a subject matter expert. I don't care if you haven't booked a lot of high fee speaking engagements, you still know what the hell you're talking about. And I know, and the reason why I'm glad that you decided to share is because you have a real specialty niche. You were talking about how to improve relations with Haiti. The reason why it's a good thing Haiti came along and how it saved America. I mean, your viewpoint on this is there's not a lot of people in your space who even are well versed at the particular topic. So knowing that, I wake up every day knowing that I'm the world's #1 speaker coach. Roger, this is not a figment of my imagination. This is what the market has proven. This is a fact. And I go into every single call knowing that I want to serve everybody that schedules a call with me. I know I can serve them at full capacity. I know I'm in the top 20% of leadership speakers on planet Earth. This is not a figment of my imagination. This is fact. I know that you are a preeminent subject matter expert in your space. This is not me blowing smoke up your ass. This is a fact. Now, everybody needs to understand what I'm saying right now, because when you lose the confidence, then you're going to when you lose the confidence to present yourself, you're going to lose the confidence to close, and you're going to lose the confidence to go out and test the waters with your subject matter expertise against the market. And that's all I'm asking you to do. He said, Roger, you're going through a process. You've done everything I asked you to do. You created your 4 signature programs. One of the few students who turned in their signature programs where I didn't have to change one word. I had to tell you to tweak this, tweak that, boom. You were on to the next thing. Now you're going through the process of getting your sales tools done. You should be excited when you are getting ready to deliver your services to the marketplace. And you cannot lose confidence because you're going to get told no. I don't care how good you are. I get told no every single day. It doesn't matter. Remember, you're dealing with the numbers game, and what we want you to do is put your brand out there as much as possible until you get a certain amount of yeses that's going to allow you to speak as many times as you want to speak. A lot of you don't have any goals. So, Roger, let me ask you a question. How many times do you want to speak, and what would you like your fee to be every time you speak? Have you set a goal for yourself? If not, let's do that right now.
Well, after I was set at 5,000, but after talking to KTR, I'm up to 25.
Now watch this. I'm going to tell you the reason why it's possible for you to earn that kind of revenue, because it's so unique with your delivery. See, remember, custom speakers earn more revenue, especially when you're dealing with very few speakers that have command over such a subject matter like you do. I told you this before. The reason why the media loves you, the reason why you can get booked on get all this national media exposure, there's a reason why. You can't just go and just close your eyes and say, I want to book a leadership speaker. No, not a leadership speaker that has that subject matter expertise like Roger Broussard. And that's the reason why you can earn up to $5,000. So here's what I would recommend that you do. I wouldn't even be mad at you if you would start out your keynote and start delivering this type of service at an hour. You could jump up to 15K for the half day program if they wanted it, and then you could jump up to 20K for the full day program. When you get tapped out, in other words, your calendar starts getting full with a lot of keynotes, like 4 or 5 every single month at the $10,000 range. If I were you, I would keep it there for about a year. And then once you get saturated, in other words, you start turning business away, I would start ramping it up. And then I would go to 25. If I were you, I would start at 10 and I would go to 25. We're not going to turn down any money up front, but when you have a very unique message and you have a brand that you have a monopoly on it, you should be charging less. I mean, you should be charging more and speaking less, not the other way around. I see speakers do this all the time. What they do is, I remember I got relationships with tons of publicists. I remember a publicist for Jesse Jackson many years ago. She said she would always book Jesse in a small room at these breakout sessions because you couldn't even get inside. She wanted to create the illusion that, in other words, she could have put him in a bigger ballroom, but she said, I always put him in a smaller room that only held like 700 people, and then I would have another 1,000 people outside trying to get in. Who's speaking inside? Oh, scarcity. See, if I don't make a lot of, like, that's what's happening to me right now. I don't have to speak. I'm speaking because I want to speak, because I run a multi-million-dollar sales funnel. If you don't have my money, I'll just tell you to find another speaker. So I am creating less availability, which means that I can charge more to a corporation who really understands the value. And when I launch my brand new website, you're going to see what I'm talking about. It's a celebrity site. It's on the level of a Grant Cardone or any other speakers, because I've earned the right to do that at this stage in my career.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Right? I'm just talking about me, but I'm telling you that the level of expertise that you have, first of all, you can't discount it, and you shouldn't be taking it for life. Roger, you're an older, very distinguished professional, and you've been through the fire, brother, just like I have. And you should be getting paid. See, people are afraid to ask for more because they don't understand why they're asking for more. I'm creating scarcity. I'm not going to be doing 150 tour days a year like I was doing before when I was a younger man. In 2007, I did 152 tour days internationally. 152. I wasn't never home.
Wow.
I'm and speaking less. Remember that.
I had a surprise happen to me last week off of my speaker reel.
Okay.
Somebody saw it and sent it to a producer. And a producer called me and wanted to talk to me about the book. and asked me to do a 7-page write-up about the book. And then after that, gave me a long lesson in what the book could become as a movie. And today, I just got back from a meeting from a friend of mine who's a Harvard educated screenwriter, and we trashed it out, and he's getting ready to get me a treatment made for the book based on the life of Toussaint Louverture.
Okay, now watch this, Roger. When I met you months ago, before you even signed up for speakerfocus.com, did I not tell you that because of the media exposure that you were getting right now, I think you were in DC to do the Dr. Ben Chavis show on PBS.
Yes,
did I not tell you that you had a celebrity brand and you looked at me like I had 5 heads?
Yes, I did.
You couldn't believe it. Did I not tell you? Did I not tell you that they were going to be coming out the woodwork and they were going to keep asking you to come do stuff, and now you get ready to get them. You get ready to they get ready to start working on a treatment to do a movie. This is the kind of stuff that happens when you start building your brand the right way. You finished your speaker video demo, and I told you one of the best demonstrations of a speaker video demo that has ever been turned in on our platform. It is absolutely amazing what you did. And I'm going to tell you why it's so good. It's not that the production was like Star Wars or special effects. Roger, you sat there and you just delivered, brother, what you're capable of delivering. I'm talking about your knowledge base is jaw dropping with the kind of knowledge that you have about that subject matter expertise. And that's the thing that people are willing to pay a lot of money for, because they understand the value. Remember this, Roger. Show the meeting planner or the producer the value, and they will give you the exposure. See, the reward that you get in television or radio or podcast or any type of media in print or what have you, the reward they give you when they want you to write up a 7-page article is that you're going to get the exposure. And yet another gem is going to be dropped, and another feather in your cap is going to be dropped, because they don't want you unless you're a subject matter expertise. But you're so damn good at what you do. That's the reason why this national media is on you, and that's the reason why they want you, and that's why it's going to be an onslaught of this happening. This is the reason why you're on this platform, so we can help guide your speaking career, so that when the speaking opportunity comes and it's about to blow up big time, that you don't let it slip through the cracks, and give those people that information for free, because that ain't going to happen. Even if I got to get on and negotiate the shit for you, you are not speaking for free, because you don't have to. Now, the media, you keep doing the national media stuff. That's what I want you to do, because all that's doing is letting the meeting planner know, I ain't got nobody else in the world, but I can go to Roger Broussard, and he has all this media exposure. When you get the website done, every damn interview that you've done needs to be right there on your media page, so they clearly understand that this guy is one of a kind. And it's the truth, Roger. And I told it to you, and I looked you dead in your face the first time I met you, and we had coffee and a croissant. I told you it was gonna happen.
And I thought you were crazy.
I know you did. I told you looked at me like I had 5 heads. But see, watch this. Just like you know what you're talking about, I evaluate speakers every single day. And I told you the kind of speaker that you were from the beginning. See, now you're looking at it differently, because now you got 4 signature programs around your subject matter expertise about Haiti. Now you got a website. Now you got your speaker video demo done. You got your speaker info kit that you're working on. Roger, we got to get you. Remember, we are here to help you remove the fear from the technology, brother. I know you old school just like me, but we got your back. Yep. We have got to get you speaking to coordinators to go to these conferences, so you can start doing your thing and live out the rest of your fake ass Michael Jordan fantasies just like the rest of us, Roger. That's what we want for you. That's what we want for you.
Man, I thank the Lord I met you.
Brother, listen, I believe I can fly. I know you can fly. Roger, you about to take off. You about to take off in flight, Roger. It's happening right before your eyes, because you are doing the steps. And you know what I love about you? In some way, I believe that you knew this was going to happen all along. The universe put us together, and you might have not believed it from when I met you about the things that I saw in you, but I hear something different in your voice. You're not the same man that I met before you got on board on the speakerfocus.com. So,
And,
so
and, and, and,
what's changed in you?
and for the people that are listening, KTR drove through the worst rainstorm to come from Maryland to DC. We got soaked from his car to the parking lot. It was bad, wasn't it, KTR? But
It
you
was bad.
drove through that for that morning. We sat there soaked and drinking coffee and eating croissants. But listen, that changed my life. It changed my life.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, you're welcome, Roger, and thank you for entrusting us with your speaking career. These are delicate matters that we're dealing with when it comes to marketing and people not understanding about their messaging. See, the thing I knew about you from the beginning is that your messaging is very clear. You wrote a book about it. You just didn't understand, like many of our students, like many speakers in the marketplace, 80% of the YouTubers, they simply just don't understand about the marketing and building a real speaker business. This has people depressed, man. They're sitting at home and they want to live their dream, but they don't understand how to do it. And what me and Austin saw years ago is that we saw people struggling like this and we wanted to stop the pain. So we appreciate the fact that you trust us as you did, and then you went out and did the work. See, I can only help you but so much. You had to go out and do the work, Roger. I'm proud of you because listen, man, when you're good at what you do, I don't care who you are, you want to wake up every day knowing that, man, damn, I'm pretty good. You want to go to bed at night knowing that you deliver service to a person and that I was right in saying, listen, Roger, had I not had the years on me, had I not been through the hell fire that I've been through, had I not had the repetitions in of marketing, and then all of a sudden Austin came along and taught me a different, like your perspective is different, my perspective is different now. Roger, I told you I had a goal. Like, shout out to all the old school people that's going to be listening to this, and even after it gets released on YouTube, I'm on a mission for all the old school people because I was there before, and I literally didn't understand how my brand was going to make it in the new world of technology. I was lost. I was confused. I had somebody kind of show me the game a little bit back in 2009, but they weren't dedicated like Austin. They weren't smart in the same way. They weren't giving and had the willingness to teach the same way Austin is. And it's like I saw it. I got a glimpse of what my future could be, but the person wasn't capable of being able to finish. And I wasn't smart enough, and I didn't have the resources enough to be able to hang in there and finish it. The technology beat me down. So see, now when I see the other people have that same fear of technology as I do, I'm able to step in there and say, hey, no, you don't need to be afraid of that technology. This is what you need to do, step by step by step. Submit a support ticket. You're not in it by yourself. That's what we're all in it together, Roger. I'm just sitting back watching your brand grow. And I told you, your speaker demonstration video, I see why that they want you to write a 7-page article and they want to give you some more exposure. Because brother, you're so cold with it. With your subject matter expertise, I told you, it's every time I hear you speak about it, it's jaw dropping. I was sitting there looking at your speaker video demo. I was damn near in amazement. I was like, damn, this dude really, like I was thinking, man, they should be trying to bring this guy in as a subject matter expert. Like when they're doing a movie about Haiti or something, they need to hire his ass. That's how good he is. Roger, you're like a Jack in the Box for the history of Haiti. If you want to know everything about Haiti and how they get down there, all you got to do is hire Roger Poussat. That's the kind of subject matter expert that you are, just like it is when we're talking about converting prospects into revenue and hiring Auston Troyer. Man, Austin know this stuff like the back of his hand, bro, just like you do about Haiti. And that's the kind, for you people listening, that's the kind of subject matter expert that you want to be in your space so you can dominate shit just like you're doing right now. I'm not even surprised. All I can say is keep it up.
You might not be surprised, but I'm shocked. But I thank you again.
That's okay. Hey, watch this, Roger. Yeah, you're welcome. And you'll get over the shock real fast. Wait until you start converting the prospects into revenue. You're going to be talking a whole different kind of way. But listen, keep that confidence going. Stay humble the way you are and just keep doing the work. Remember, as soon as that website gets done, your goal should be is to go into module number 5 and learn as much stuff as you can. You don't have to have a level of mastery. Just go in. We got to get your speaker growth engine set up. We got to get you to start doing outreach and start talking to coordinators who want to hire you for your subject matter expertise. And remember that you have a strong foothold in the corporate and association arena as well. Not just speaking on the specialty of Haiti, but you also understand how to serve corporations when it comes to leadership because you did that for over 35, 40 years. So there's a lot of area that you can have success in. Because and the last thing I'm going to say to you is this: what you're going to learn is everybody may not want to hire you to come in to speak as a subject matter expert for Haiti. They might just want to bring you in as a leadership speaker, and then you might be able to tell your Haiti story and attach that to it. So there's a component that's going to be inspiring for people that's going to want to hire you. And you're going to start seeing when you get your brand out there that the doors are going to open and you're not just going to be boxed into just one thing. They're going to want you because, Roger, what you're doing right before our eyes right now is you are building a brand. And people love brand. They love to be associated with the brand. So don't, like I said, I know you, once you get over the initial shock that is happening to you, you need to understand, brother, what the path you're on, the universe got you on something that's special. And you need to ride it all the way out because everything you ever wanted to be is about to happen into your life. And I can see it, bro. And I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, look, I'm going to be talking to you real soon.
All right.
Hey, send me the links when you do that other interview, too. I want to check it out.
Okay. All right.
Okay, boss. Talk to you real soon.
All right.
Man, I tell you, man. So, you know what? Success starts. I gotta lower Roger. It's not the last question. Anybody else has any question, share by all means. I will get to you. So let us know about your progress. If you are struggling, you don't need to. We are here to answer any and all questions pertaining to growing your speaker business. If you are confused about your messaging, if you need to tweak your messaging, if I've given you an approval on your messaging and I've approved your bio, start building your sales tools. If you got an approval and all your sales tools are built, then go register your business entity. If it's not already registered with your local Secretary of State and you don't have a tax identification number, please do that. Remember, meeting planners love doing business with other businesses, and it's also a great tax benefit as well. Now, also, if you've got your business entity set up and we've already approved your messaging and your sales tools, you need to start posting value videos that is connecting with meeting planners and helping them solve their problems. You also want to start leaving those gems behind. Social proof is so mandatory in today's market. They might not have your DNA and they might not have your fingerprints. I don't know, unless you're a convicted felon like me, but that's a whole nother story. They may not have your fingerprints or your DNA, but they got your ass on that social media, and every opportunity that you get, you should be dropping YouTube videos that is teaching lessons about your subject matter expertise. You should be giving away more free information than everybody else in your space. Remember, the meeting planner is the gatekeeper, and they are not going to give you the key to unlock the gate to put you in front of their audience unless you can show them the value. When they show you the value, When you show them the value, they will show you the money. T-shirts coming soon. Show them the value and they'll show you the money. And then once you are posting value videos and your social media is popping, don't worry about views and likes right now. Just start documenting shit. Then you are going to get the best lesson of digital marketing and building the speaker growth engine that you've ever gotten in your life. If I were you, I would do every single thing that Auston Troyer tells you. He is absolutely phenomenal. The way he teaches Module 5 takes the fear out of technology and simplifies the game of digital marketing. Understand this. If your business is not keeping up with technology, the stuff that's going on with artificial intelligence right now and self-driving cars and automation, you are simply going to get run out of business if you don't understand how to connect with these coordinators online. I am going to say this for those of you who still want to hold on to the old school. I am not stopping you from cold calling any organization to see if they may be a good fit for you. Just stick to the script that we have for you in the speaker toolkit so that you understand how to manage the verbiage, managing the sales cycle from contact to close, and how to negotiate your speaker fees. I have all those templates on the platform. I will tell you this. The reason why I want you to binge watch Module 5 is because the more you look at it and the more support tickets that you send in, we will help you overcome the struggles of setting up your speaker sales funnel. Now, once you send over your outreach templates, emails that you're sending, hey, KTR, I sent this to this college. I sent this to this corporation. I start doing the free organic outreach. I'm starting to send out email blasts. I'm connecting through LinkedIn. Hey, this is my campaign that I have going. Let us know what you're doing so we can make sure that the shit is set up properly. Then again, it's not even a video for module number 6. It's just you getting all of your outreach templates together and then making sure that you're using the right kind of documentation so that you can negotiate your speaker fees properly. If you don't end up getting the proper fee, that's what the speaker negotiating menu is for. You have it all on our platform at speakerfocus.com. Now, why am I ending the group call like this? Why am I ending the Q&A call like this? Because it's important for you to know that on a lot of platforms, you simply do not have this kind of support, and your ass is either going to get distracted or discouraged. And when that happens to you, you're going to fall off the wagon. There's many people, it happens every single week on our platform. They go through personal and business challenges, and they can pick up right where they left off. This is the reason why we have it set up this way. You can do this. We work with some of the best subject matter experts in the world, but even subject matter expert fall. You're going to have your good days. You're going to have your bad days. It doesn't matter what it is. We are here to love you because that's what family does. Even when family pisses you off, you can't choose your family. You still got to love them. And that's how we treat all of our students and our clients at speakerfocus.com. We are here to support you. We are in it with you for the long haul. That is our vision. That is our mission. And that is our passion. With that being said, I don't see any other hands going up. So submit all further questions to support at speakerfocus.com. See, what I want for all of you, what me and Austin want, what the entire team at speakerfocus.com wants for you. We want you to have wins, and a win can be small or it can be big. This speaker business will take you to heights that are unimaginable. You just have to walk through the storm, and you got to let it happen. My God, when I hear people share their triumphs with us, it absolutely makes our day. On behalf of the entire team at speakerfocus.com, I'm Kevin T. Robertson, proud CEO, wishing you nothing but growth, prosperity, and I'm talking about a river of money that is flowing in the speaker business. Dip your net in the water and catch some of it, ladies and gentlemen. And we are here to help you get as much of it as you can. I will catch you right here, same time, same place next week. And stay focused on your goals and your dreams. Peace.